Hey YouTube, and welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me. So, over the weekend I saw some guppies and I just actually got thinking, I haven't really gone through exactly what's happening with my breeding setup and what's actually going on with that. So I thought I'd use this opportunity today to go through what I'm actually up to, what breeding projects are on the go at the moment, and what's going on in the future. I've also got some updates about things that are going to be happening relatively soon, as well as a new animal, so please stay tuned. But as ever, if you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, I give daily updates on there. So anything you feel like you're missing on here, then those are probably your best options. With that said, let's crack on with today's video. Hey, welcome back. So as I said, I thought I'd go through exactly what's been going on with my breeding setups. I've been breeding some guppies and we've still got some fry here, but I did manage to sell the first lot of those over the weekend, which was good news. Like I said, I don't think I've really covered much. I've alluded to them in a couple of videos you may have already seen, but I thought a good chance today to go over in a bit more detail. So I think firstly we'll go back and just take a look at exactly how this started. So I got back into guppies. I think like everybody else, I had guppies as a child and loved the fact they used to breed, and then like everybody else I suppose lost interest and probably got into something else. As most things happen, I've come back round and fallen in love with them all over again. So back in about March, I picked up 2 male guppies as well as 5 females. So those got me started. So did successfully get some babies from them. Managed to raise them, like I said, up until I sold them last weekend. Now as this went on, I did get more and more involved in it and did buy quite a lot of guppies over that period of time, trying to selectively breed some guppies. Now this is the reason why I set up the 60 litre tub like I've showed you in a past video, so if you want to go back and check that out, then feel free to do that. I'm using this just to stock my guppies at the moment. Like I said, I'm sort of selectively breeding the ones I want, just to give me a bit of choice. But I've whittled the guppies down over the last couple of months, so we'll be moving soon. We have actually bought a house, and we are looking to try and move into that as soon as possible. So a lot of changes coming your way, so make sure you're subscribed. If you're not, then hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss any videos coming up. So like I said, we did start off with a few guppies and that's actually grown, like most of you probably can relate to that. And as it's gone on, I've actually added a few extra tanks to raise the guppy fry in. But now I add a free tank as well. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, there is a new animal which I will show you eventually. We'll take a look at that a bit towards the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned. I am currently going to stop breeding the guppies at the moment, or at least separating the mums from the babies. I'm not looking to try and get many at the moment. I am going to try and start this again when I do move house, as I said. Once I have moved, I will be looking to try and make a better setup than what I've actually got. It's a bit sort of made on the spot and just making do with what I've got at the moment. It hasn't affected the fish in any way. I've only lost 1 guppy since I've actually begun, out of probably about 300 fry, so not looking too bad at all. But it's not the ideal setup I'd like, but like I said, there'll be more on this in the future with a better setup and more room to do that. But I think now we'll just go over and take a look at some of the tanks and I'll talk you through those. Okay, so as you can see, this is the tub where I house most of my adult guppies in. Just give me a bit of selection. As you can see, the Plecostomus is actually rummaging his way through the moss. He's still doing really well. I'm actually still using this as a grow out tank as well. You can see my black angel fish in there. I think he's got some stunted growth. He hasn't grown like the others, but he's doing really well in there. Feels like he's the boss of the tank. I'm actually housing a lot of moss and plants. As you can see, there's a carbon bag in there as well from my other tanks who I'm actually treating at the moment. But like if you've seen my video on this, there's so many uses you can have with a tank like this, really cheap. But back to the guppies, as that's what we're talking about today. So as you can see, the female guppies with the blue tails, those I've been using to breed currently. Those are the mums for the babies I've only just recently sold, and they've been really successful. I had lots of babies out of them. But I will be looking to try and change this up a little bit more when we move. The guppy's doing really well in this tank at the moment. This will definitely suit them until we actually move and, like I said, get a proper setup. But I probably will do things like this in the future. Really handy, these tubs as a makeshift tank, or if you're really desperate for a quarantine system, this is a really good way of doing that. But if you want a little bit more information on that tank, then please go back and check out my quarantine system setup. And you get all the information you need on there, as well as links if you want to try and do something similar yourself. Okay, so as you can see, this is just another plastic container. It holds about 28 litres. It's got a simple internal filter in there, sponge filter. I did, when the babies were initially very small, cover it with the intakes with a sponge, just make sure they didn't get sucked up in there. And just a little bit of simple decoration. Yeah, it's artificial. There's a little bit of moss in there as well, in case any of the babies did decide to hide when they're a younger age. You can see they're getting quite sizable at the moment. There's no proper light on this tank, so you can't really see their colours very well, but they are starting to come through with their blues and oranges at the moment. But I will try and get this tank lit a bit better so you can actually see them a bit more in the future. But again, something to do going forward. These babies have started being born in May, so as you can see probably on the sign there, on the 2nd of May. So they're doing really, really well at the moment. Some of them are very, very big and put on quite a lot of weight. And there's the odd one in there with a twisted spine, so I'm probably going to hold him back just as a pet fish. I don't think I'll be euthanizing him, don't think I've got the heart to do that. Give them a month to size out a little bit more, and I might be looking to get rid of them at that point. But I might wait until the next batch gets as big just to get them sold all in one go. But I'll keep updated on that as we go along. But like I said, if you do want more updates on this, then please, I'd recommend you check me out on Instagram, Facebook or Twitter. So moving on, we'll take a look at the youngest lot of babies I've got at the moment. So again, these are in a cricket keeper I used to keep some of the insects for my reptiles in. Again, not an ideal setup, I'd like something a bit better, but there's only about 10 baby guppies in here, so fine for them for the time being. Like I said, when I do move, I will be looking to try and get a decent racking system, as well as some 10-gallon breeders and some 20-gallon breeders to actually try and do these things a little bit better in. But like I said, this has served me really, really well since it started in March, like I said. Okay, as you can see, these babies are a lot smaller. I'm surprised they are really starting to colour up. As you can see, some of them have got some really nice blues and oranges already showing in their tails. Didn't expect the colour to come out in them this early. But I'm really excited to see how they do actually turn out. I actually bred these with a dragon male guppy as well, so I'm interested to see what sort of colours and patterns these produce. But these are only coming up to about a month old, so I'll hold on to these for quite a while before we look to actually get rid of them. But this will be the last batch of guppy fry that I will actually have until I move house. That's not to say that any in the tub won't actually breed, but I won't be actually separating them to try and obviously maximise on the sales potential for them. I am really looking forward to getting some tidy setup for these in the very, very near future. Like I said, we've just bought a house. We're just actually waiting for the person who's buying his house to actually find one himself, and I should be able to give you updates on that very, very soon. But it's a really, really exciting time. A chance to expand on my collection, try and upgrade some of the setups that I really want to get done. So like the angelfish tank and the green tree python tank would be the first to be done. Like I said, I will be looking to try and get some new projects on the go, whether that be breeding and actually new animals in themselves. But like I mentioned earlier, the other guppy tank I had set up for fry is actually empty now, so it seemed a shame to leave it empty or just to wind it down, as this is only a small tank anyway. Like I said, I'm not going to be looking to breed any more guppies, so it definitely needed filling. I'm sure that those of you who own fish tanks know that feeling. So why don't we go and just take a quick look at our newest member. We'll just take a quick look at him now, and I'll do a full video on him going forward. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have managed to spot him yet, but I'm sure most of you can recognise what he actually is. There we go. Okay, so this is my new beta fish, or beta fish. It depends on where you're from, how you want to say it, but that is up to you. But I'm sure you'll all agree, he's a really, really good looking fish. Really, really nice deep blue. The first beta fish I've ever actually owned, so I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I've researched them for months and months and months, something I've wanted for a while. I was going to wait until we had the new place, but given that I had a spare tank, I'm probably perfect for his setup at the moment. I thought I'd do it now, as I've actually seen him in the shop and I couldn't really leave him there. I actually got this fish from Aquatic World, and for those of you who live in the South Wales area, if you want to check those out, I'll put a link in the description. I don't think they actually do sales online, but you can visit their website. But I definitely recommend giving them a look if you're in that area. It is my local fish shop. It's not actually my local fish shop, but it is my favourite fish shop, and probably the one I use most of all. Definitely worth a check out. Really good selection, really helpful. Rich, who owns the store, is a really good guy, and actually took the guppies off me as well. But I'm really happy with my newest addition. I don't know what you guys think, but he seems to be doing really well. I'm not really going to do much with this tank at the moment. It's got a simple sponge filter in there. I've actually added an end onto the filter just to try and reduce the flow a little bit for him. As you can see, quite a basic glass heater in there and some plastic plants. I am considering escaping this. I don't know whether I'm going to do it before we move, just to do it up, then just to take it down again. But I'd love to see what you guys think. So if you would like me to do something with this now, then please comment in the section below. Well, I hope it give you a bit more clarity on what's been actually going on within the breeding rack, with any breeding at all, if you actually knew I was doing anything like that. Hope this has explained it a little bit better and you've had a better idea of what's been going on at the moment. Like I said, it's the first lot of guppies I've actually ever sold, or the first lot of fish I've actually bred and sold, so it was quite an exciting thing, albeit guppies. And I'm sure many of you will think, well, what's the big deal, they're just guppies, everybody can breed them. But any of you in the hobby will know breeding or new animals or new projects are very exciting, and I am a big child like that. If there's anything you'd like to see going forward, or if you'd like updates on anything at all, then please comment in the section below. I'll be more than happy to pick up on those suggestions and try and get videos out to add them to my list. A video I'd probably like to do next is an update on the green tree python paludarium, because I know a lot of you have talked to me over the past couple of months about when am I going to make a next video for that. So I'll definitely be doing that, if not next. And I'll also be trying to look to get another reptile room tour out. Again, if you want to check out the links in the description below for any of my merch or t-shirts. And again, I really appreciate any of your support. And as always, all the proceeds go towards this channel, the upkeep of my animals, and just trying to put money back into this expensive hobby and trying to expand a little bit more. But I think I've waffled on enough for today. So as usual, thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. But that's enough from me, and I'll see you next time.